Hello, welcome to another edition of Cracking Cryptic, where we've had a puzzle recommended to us from The Independent, which appeared on the 1st of January. So we're going to have a look at it. So, Sovereign's foremost sycophant and follower. No clue. Place to show flesh wound. Okay, I think that's shelf. I think that's an anagram. We say that slightly different. Place to show flesh wound. It probably becomes clear what's going on. Why doing my quiz nearly always ends up in an astronomic row? Don't know. Very interesting surface reading. Old deposit in field, one overseas. Cowpat. This Maize, we've reviewed one of his puzzles before. He's very amusing. 8 down, 1,000 on board jet, making it unstable. What is a jet? A jet is a flow. Not sure. Inventive musicians, remote control sound. Zapper. Oh, sounds like Z-A-P-P-E-R there. Let's go back to this one then. Why doing my quiz nearly always ends up in an astronomic row or row? I still don't know what that is. Managed to obtain case of bubbly. Get by. Case of bubbly, very nice for BY there, the outside letters. 1,000 on board jet, making it unstable. 1,000. It's M or K normally. Flaky. Something's flaky, it's a bit unstable, but flay then would have to be. Oh, fly. No, fly can be jet. And AK. That's fine then. Right, understood. What on earth is this? There is some weird word, isn't there? Syzygy or something. I think it's something like this. Let's just go. Why my quiz? Nearly always. Oh, is it the end letters? Y, G, Y, Z. Y, G, Y, Z. Y, S ends up. God. There are some very strange letters in this crossword. Right, I've got loads of Y's and loads of, well, and an E. Wow, okay. It looks like something odd's going on. Maybe this is why it's been recommended. So, fly like a silent bee. Buzz off. Yes. Oh no, look at this. So now we've got 3 Z's as well. Returning Zulu's provided sparkle. Fizz. We've talked about provided so often being if in crosswords. So, note by message relay system. Fax, probably. Note by. By is x here, as in if you times 9 by 3, you put 9x3. Personal problem. During kisses, a teenage obsession. Well, it's also a middle-aged man's obsession. Xbox. BO in the middle of kisses there. Incredible number of X's, Y's and Z's in this so far. Carbon undergoes 95% reduction in pH. Much enthusiasm results. I have no clue what that is. Let's go over here. Fertilizers as per manure ingredient. Okay, that's a hidden. Quits rugby match after kick-off. Quits. Evens, sevens without the start. Test edges of the site for Norman Castle. Test edges of the site. Norman Castle. I'm not sure about that. It's 2 down. Boxing clubs with English. Fighter, possibly. Cast out. eject or something like that. Yes, eject around C for clubs. That looks correct. Gets through piano grade almost. Gets through passes perhaps. Grade is to assess, so that looks correct. Sovereigns foremost, sycophant and follower. Uriah Heep was a sycophant. Test. Edges of the site for Norman Castle. Should be able to get that. Gorgeous quality of rugby forwards. Rugby forwards, what are they? Locks, hookers, props, set. Quality of rugby forwards. I don't know. Crew or Palace, well, it's an easy one if you like football. Alexandra. Another X. Mock judge rehears regularly. Gia, so that's J for judge, and then regular letters in rehears. Raise a drink to old style, so that's a jar raised for Raj. Trip of a lifetime, Hajj, Hajj. A couple of jokers, so H-J-J. Knit or weave to illustrate cow. To illustrate cow. Sure, it's incredible crossword. This is some. They seem trying for some triple pangram or something. Former ISIS stronghold split between Iraq and Qatar. Raqqa. Yeah, look at this. I think this is what he's attempting. We've now got 2 Qs. I think he's trying to get every letter of the alphabet in this puzzle 3 times. That's incredible if he's done it. Heave do-gooder away from time in prison. Heave do-gooder away from time in prison. I don't know that. Fast living. If you're alive, you're quick. So that looks like that. Lower year gets high room. Oh, sorry. I just moved the thing to the wrong place. Where's the clue from? No. Port, a queen, and a bishop accepted. There is a port called. I don't know how you say it, but I think it's that. I'm now questioning my own mind. Broadcast a Siberian native in his natural environment. Might have to come back to that. Outspoken tossers part in polo match. Chucker. And look at that, he's gone for a double K from this one. Career, both its sides fancy a sing-along karaoke. Oh, it's an anagram of career and the K and A, the outside parts again. Neglected her in comparison to hero. Neglected, unkempt. Her in comparison to hero. I'm not sure. Heave, wretch. Do-gooder with time. Time away. Saint. ST being removed from a stretch, which is a time in prison. So let's go back to this then. Broadcast of Siberian native. There is a tiger, isn't there? That's some sort of wooded plateau, I think, in Siberia. Right, lower year gets high room in Hogwarts. Lower year gets high room in Hogwarts. I know that. Dog trainer's dad returning car with boot scratched. Very good surface. Car with boot scratched, I don't know. Part of the attraction when fair people bump into each other. No. Yoko on off, presumably. Feeling frisky starts. Yeah. Double F. No, this is a very odd puzzle in terms of its fill. Crossing round head of jungle. Ah, so that's fjord, I think. King guarded by not entirely moral servant in Shakespeare play. It's going to be the name of a servant, I think in a Shakespeare play, but not brilliant on Shakespeare. Cut short time being married. Short time is a mo. If you're married, you're wed, so that looks like that. Take too much off. Boxwood sculpted. Harness piece. Ox bow. Yes, so if you OD, you take too much. And if you remove the OD from boxwood and then anagram it, you get this. So we now have to put a king guarded. So king is probably R, isn't it? By not entirely moral. If you're moral, you are, I don't know, part of attraction. Dodgem. Why is it dodgem? When fair people bump into each other, I think it's a cryptic definition. Attraction. King guarded by not entirely moral. Must be good. Why is it king? What the hell? King with a B in it. Goblo. Showing my ignorance here, I think, about Shakespeare. King guarded by not entirely moral. That must be good around the outside. A word for king or an abbreviation for king. Maybe beginning with B, probably. King is a... No. Politician tucked into battered cod he ate with gusto. Okay, that looks like an anagram. Chomped of cod he around MP, so that's good. Lower year gets high room in Hogwarts. Lower year. Lower could be an ox. Year gets high room. High room. Okay, maybe it gets high. If you're high, you're... And then it's the answer of room at Hogwarts, which could be an... I'm not sure. 29. Dog trainer's dad returned in car with boot scratched. Dog trainer could be a... Dog trainer is a... I don't know. Neglected her in comparison to hero. Oh, it hasn't got the O, has it? Neglected, neglected is unfinished. Her in comparison to hero. Unended. Neglected, unended, maybe car could be motor, and maybe the R of motor could be considered the boot, as in the back end. That would give, yeah, it's a weird word. It doesn't look like it's right. Okay, pest from central Georgia, midge, presumably. Mid-GE. Okay, that's better. Branch of bodies set up after war to remove weapons, to unarm. Dictators Police Republic. Republic Czech, maybe. Dictators Police. If you police something, you check it. So that could now be scrummy. Scrummy, very clever, lovely. So it's a pun on what forwards do in rugby, obviously. Yes. Yeah, sorry about that. The website crashed, so I've had to reload it, but it seems to have remembered what's going on. So I just solved this one when the machine gave up. So this was squawky, I think, which is squat, shortened. So short, dumpy, followed by WKY. Maybe this will help with this. Wigwam. Let's see. Rook escapes heat under new thatch. Why is this? New thatch is a wig. And rook escapes. Okay, so R is leaving warm for heat under wig. Tell you what, I really admire this setter. He is very, very good. Right, perhaps Scotch would be sweet if on the licorice. If you put liquor on ice, you get licorice. So that's how that one works. Now, acidity. Carbon undergoes 95% reduction in pH. Much. What the heck is this? Now, if this was acidity, but then we changed the carbon, 95%. So the C becomes a V in Roman numerals. Carbon undergoes 95% reduction. So pH is acidity, and then the C for 100 is becoming a V. That's very clever again. Really original. I've not seen anything like that before. Test edges of the site. Right, okay, so MOT is a test. Edges of V could be TE. Site for Norman Castle and Mott. Vaguely rings a bell. Knit or weave over or to illustrate cow. Very nice. Should have got that before. I thought it might be an anagram, but didn't spot it. So we've now definitely got two W's. Is there a third W? Yes, there is. Okay, so we've got, I think we had 3 Q's. I saw that with Raka and a Carper. Got at least 3 X's. Maybe 4 X's. He's not gone for it. There are 4 Q's. No. No, that's impossible. There are, I think he might have gone for 4 of every letter. We're going to have to check this at the end. I don't think that can be true. I think that's impossible, surely. Anyway, neglected, in comparison to hero. Unround? Unround? Could it be that? Or neglected? If something's neglected, it's unkempt, uncombed, untended, Sorry, I'm not seeing that one. Lower year. Lower is ox, I'm sure. year, Y, gets high. Okay, so this is going to be the name of some the room where magic is studied. There is a word for something like this, and I can't remember what it is. High. Damn. It's going to be very difficult if I can't remember that. Dog trainer's dad returning car with boot scratched. So if this is an A, dog trainer. Pavlov. Pavlov's. Okay. Pavlov's dog. And Volvo reverse. Right. Okay. Dog trainer. I've neglected her in comparison to hero. Unloved. Yeah, okay, very clever. Yeah, so that's her doesn't have the O, which is a love. Love in tennis is no score. So what the hell is this? Auxiliary. Maybe it's not ox. Owlery. An owlery. It's an anagram of lower and Y. Oh, that is superb. Lower year gets high room in Hogwarts. That is a brilliant clue. Okay, so we're left with this one. King guarded by not entirely moral servant in Shakespeare play. King guarded by. I'm really confused about this one. Let's just check No, Oxbow is definitely right. Dodgem must be right. Maybe we've misspelled fjord. No. Let's just count some of the odd letters. How many V's are there in this crossword? 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4. This is absolutely extraordinary. I'm going to put this into some software at the end, and I'm going to go for Gobbo here. I don't quite understand it. I can see how it's good around the outside of BB. I'm not sure why. Oh, BB King. Ah, fair enough. Yeah, BB King. My bad. Very clever. There must be a Shakespeare character called Gobbo. This was an absolute work of genius. The clue's fantastic, and this grid is quite incredible. Yep, that's right. Okay, so let's check this grid now. Okay, well, I've just done a bit of work on this grid, and I've been doing Maize a disservice. I'm just staggered by what I'm seeing here. I'm going to bring over. In fact, there's a couple of mistakes there which might explain why I'm getting this extraordinary. No, I do. It's not going to. I'm just going to double check that all the entries are correct. And this is a piece of software called Sympathy, created by Ross Beresford, one of the greatest listener crossword solvers of all time, and a very fine programmer. And what it allows you to do is enter grids and things, and then once you've entered a grid like this, which I think is looking correct, I can't see any obvious errors now in the acrosses or down, so this is the grid that Maize created and just clued and I've just solved. First thing to note is there's nothing, I don't think there's anything outrageous in this grid. Size IG, well, I did know the word. Racker, I think most of us would be familiar with, especially with the news over the last few years. Tiger, no, that's fine. Xbox, I think Xbox is fine. It's definitely part of the language. Now let me just show you what the software can do. It can show you the statistics around this grid. So here we go. You can see it's 15 by 15, and this is showing us that there are at least 5 of every single letter of the alphabet in this crossword. Now I can tell you that is absolutely staggering. You know, I've seen pangrams before where every letter features once. I've even seen double pangrams. I may even have seen one example of a triple, but I mean, this grid has 5 of every letter of the alphabet in it without using outrageous words, and I am lost in admiration. This is one of the finest pieces of setting I've ever seen. Absolutely superb. So thanks very much for the recommendation that we had on the site to solve the puzzle. Definitely worthwhile, and hats off to the setter here. This really is, I don't use the word lightly, but it's a work of genius. Well done.